Joining us on the line is Parish Pastoral Council for Responsible Voting National Coordinator Arwin Serrano. Good evening, Arwin.
Yes, good evening, Mai, and also to our televiewers and listeners in your program.
All right, tell us, Arwin, give us a view or a glimpse of what's happening on the ground in terms of vote counting and canvassing.
Well, for the three areas, as you have mentioned earlier, it was a very good experience from those areas simply because they don't need to write down the names of their desired candidates in specific positions, but they just have to shape, just like we have been doing for the so many elections since 2010. And even Chairman George Garcia is telling that there might be a strong possibility that if not all, maybe a huge number or a big percentage of our next barangay and SK election would be automated. Mm-hmm. So we're also supporting COMELEC's desire to automate our next barangay and SK elections.
Mm-hmm. Tell us, Arwin, what were the problems, or were there any problems encountered during the vote counting?
Well, generally, there have been a big improvement. If you compare this to the 2013 barangay election and also the May 2018 barangay and SK elections. But the perennial problem of some voters not finding their names in the list of voters, yes, and for a few voters that they didn't know that if they miss the last two consecutive elections in 2019 and 2022, they will be deactivated and can no longer found their names in the
right,
in the list as they used to vote for. And then there are also some instances that because of the reclustering, and also the addition of some new voting centers, there are some instances that they were being told by our volunteers from the Voters Assistance Desk that their names are there, but they are not voter in that particular voting center. So they will be requested to go to that voting center, mm-hmm, where they can be able to vote. And right, then in some instances, there are also being assisted by the Office of the Election Officer that there might be some problems in terms of not putting their names from the posted computerized voters list, but in the list of voters emanating also from the Office of the Election Officer, their name is there.
Mm-hmm. These are the problems we've been seeing in previous elections, right? Now, what is your assessment on the few precincts that used automated voting? Was the COMELEC's pilot test successful?
During the pilot testing last week, in Dasmariñas, Cavite, they did the final testing and sealing last Monday. But in Pasong Tamo, Quezon City, they did it last Wednesday. And in those two pilot testing schedules, there are some glitches, but they were able to correct it this morning, that only a few had some paper jam, but overall, all those voters who voted were able to cast their votes using the old vote counting machine.
Well, the most of the precincts stuck with manual voting. How vulnerable are they to electoral fraud?
Well, we have some cheating methods employed in manual elections that are still could possibly be utilized by some unscrupulous candidates or supporters of candidates. Like, for example, in areas like sports complex, they might be able to switch or cover their, or maybe get away with one official ballot, and that could result to what we call lanzadera, cadena de amor, or making a cycle out of it by putting already the names of the candidates in those two positions, and then it will be given to the voter, and then that voter will use that filled up ballot already, and then they will already be able to get the clean ballot away from that precinct, and then gives it back to the person, and then they can already receive a certain amount for doing that. So it will be a cycle. So they could be able to cheat the results of the election in that particular precinct, in that particular barangay. So we don't want to happen that in a manual election. So that's one of the biggest cheating methods that they employ. Aside from what we call flying voter,
Yes.
where a person would assume identity of another person. And for this election, there are also some reports given by our volunteers in the field that by the time that the real voter arrives in that precinct, somebody already voted for them.
Okay. Okay, Arwin, one last question because we're running out of time. I'd like to, hopefully you answer very quickly. What key areas do you think have you identified that could be further strengthened or the COMELEC can improve on going into the 2025 midterm elections?
Okay. One is the addition of another special polling precinct in the EAPP, or the Emergency Accessible Polling Place, used by our vulnerable sector voters, senior citizens, PWD, and heavily pregnant women. Because in that EAPP, it's only one precinct. And this morning, I saw a lot of voting centers I visited that a lot of, especially senior citizens, would like to utilize that EAPP. So if that precinct would be more than one, let's say two, then the number of vulnerable sector voters, let's say for example 30 or 40, if that will be divided into two, then it will be 15 to 20. So maybe it's just an additional budget for another set of electoral board members, but it could help a lot of vulnerable sector voters.
All right.
And then also, to be able to control the number of watchers from the candidates, because I see a lot of watchers not inside the voting precinct, but also outside.
Yes.
And that should not be permitted by the election officer. So hopefully we could also correct on those particular happenings, because it also somehow affects the pile of voters in that particular precinct.
And some watchers are even from the camps of the candidates. Those were some of the reports we've been hearing. Anyway, thank you so much for your time this evening, Arwin Serrano of the PPCRV.